Hello there. Whether you just got your hands on a PS5 or you've had one since launch, here is a list of things you should know about your PlayStation 5 which Sony didn't tell us about. From tiny hacks to maximizing battery life. Let's do this. Did you know you can check the number of hours you've spent on every game you've played? Any game from the PS4 and PS5 era is available, and it may surprise you to know what you've been playing. Press the PlayStation button and go to your profile, move over to games, and there you have it. Everything you've played from around 2015, I believe. What's the game you've played the most? Unsurprisingly, on the PS4 I played Fortnite quite a bit. Another great thing to note is how to turn off your controllers with one single button. The PlayStation icon, when pressed and held down for 10 seconds, will shut off your controller, saving battery life while not in use. Great for watching movies. The PlayStation 5 home screen tracks the last dozen apps you've opened, slowly pushing the other ones out of sight. If you want to keep your favorite game on the homepage, simply press the options button and toggle keep on home. It will never leave you again. Another great way to group games is in the game library. In your collection we can create a games list to group things together, like all your Batman games or PSVR games. It saves you scrolling through everything. Out of interest, how many games are in your library? I almost have 600. The DualSense controller is amazing, but for some reason the mic is always on right away. You may be accidentally broadcasting your singing to your entire team without realizing. A setting I recommend is found in Settings, Sound, and Microphone. Select microphone status when logged in and switch this to mute. Now every time you're on your PS5 by default you're muted and can't be heard unless you deliberately unmute. Oh! Another cool trick about that mute button, instead of tapping it, hold it and you will mute everything: your microphone, your controller speaker, and your TV audio. Everything falls silent. Have you downloaded the PlayStation app for your phone? You should. Not only because it's a great place to check out games, see what your friends are playing and maybe your trophies too, it's also linked to all the captures you make on your console. Every screenshot, every video. In Settings, under Captures and Broadcast, make sure you have Auto Upload on. On the app, click the game library icon and at the top of the screen is Captures. As long as your PS5 is connected to the internet it will send all those clips and screenshots to your phone, allowing you to download them, to edit them or quickly share them on social media if you like. The app has a ton of hidden extras too. You can also use it to activate games. Maybe you're frantically trying to get home and you want your console ready and set up. Simply select the game you want, and as long as your PS5 is in rest mode, it will activate and be ready for you when you get back. Another way to save even more time is to set up Device Link. By going into System and then HDMI, you can enable One Touch Play. This means whenever your PS5 is turned on, your monitor will automatically switch on too. Who needs a remote? And there is a power off version too. When you switch off the monitor, the PS5 will instantly go into rest mode. Pretty cool, eh? For some reason the PS5 doesn't have a dedicated web browsing app, but don't fret, people with higher IQs than I have figured out a way to bypass that issue. By simply using a direct message to friends, you are able to send links to external sites. And by simply clicking on them you can access anything on the interwebs from YouTube to Twitter. Google.com is a really good starting place. You may be thinking, why would I do this? Well, did you know you can pin the internet to the side of your screen while playing? By pressing the option button and selecting pin, you can decide which side to. So essentially you can be doing your dailies in Overwatch or Fortnite and you can take in a YouTube video at the same time. I think I'll play like this all the time now. Double tap the PS button to take your screen back. Did you know the DualSense controller has gyro functions, and you can use these outside of gaming? For example, by pressing L3 and R3 together, you can use motion controls to send a message. Weird, isn't it? Also, in these scenarios the touchpad can be used like a mouse. So the battery life on those controllers isn't great as they're packed with so many features. So if you don't want to play with the cable plugged in, or have a second controller, I recommend heading over to Settings, Accessories, and Controller. In here we can change so much. We could reduce the vibration, modify how forceful the haptic feedback is, and even turn down the light on the controller if you really want to micromanage your battery life. Whilst in here, a really important option for players who use a headset is to turn off the speaker on the controller. If you can't hear it, it's a total waste of battery life. If you want to go on your PS5 online but don't want to be hassled by your friends, you can log in and stay offline. When selecting your profile, click Options, simple as that. There you go, just pick an option. Another way friends can be annoying is when they accidentally spoil something, like the golf scene in The Last of Us Part 2. To help prevent this, the PS5 has spoiler warnings built in. Jump into Settings, Save Data and Game Settings, and Spoiler Warnings. Make sure Warn About Game Spoilers is on. And now any media sent via PS5 that could be a game spoiler will be covered up unless you've already played past that part of the game. Pretty cool. Back onto the PlayStation app now. Did you know it's possible to manage your console storage from the app? By clicking on the settings icon, and then storage, the blue line indicates how much storage you've used, yikes in my case. And below it is a breakdown of all the games currently installed and their sizes. I think it's time Marvel's Avengers got deleted, 113 gig. There's also a few coming soon features you can try right now, such as voice commands. In the settings, scroll down to voice commands, and then enable voice commands and now say "Hey PlayStation." If all goes well, PlayStation will talk to you. "Hey PlayStation, play Into the Gungeon."
Okay.
"Hey, that was pretty cool." "Hey PlayStation, play God of War Ragnarok."
Okay.
It works okay at switching games and opening apps, but it's pretty basic right now. PlayStation is now looking for feedback if you'd like to get involved. And if you do start using this, you're opted in automatically to send feedback. When we tap the PS button and the hybrid menu pops up, press down on the D-pad to select the icons. Lots of useful links and shortcuts. Should you press the options button while down here, you'll be given the ability to customize everything, put anything in your own order, or completely disregard it. I'm bringing back the PSVR settings icon, ready for PSVR 2's release very soon, but if you're not into that, just get rid of it, out of sight, out of mind. To end here, some of the tiny things you probably know, but I'm going to include them just in case, such as by pressing the triangle button on the home screen, your cursor will immediately jump to the search icon in the top right-hand corner. It's not impressive, but it is useful. Double tapping the PlayStation button is different in almost every app you use. It's actively dynamic. If you're playing a game, something like a trophy card or activity card will pop up. When you're in chat with friends or listening to music, double tap the PS button and audio settings will pop up. Useful. I'm sure you've noticed by now, when in game tapping the PS button doesn't take you back home like the PS4 days, it pops up this hybrid menu. Instead, just hold the PS button a fraction longer, and there you are, back home. And finally, something I only learnt this week, when playing local multiplayer games, the controller light indicates players 1 to 4, look 1 light for 1 player, 2 lights for 2 player, etc. etc. That's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video and keep on being awesome. PlayStation World out.